Hello, I'm John Bachman. The Pakistani army says it has now wrapped up operations after that terroristic rampage today by Taliban gunmen that left more than 130 people dead, most of them children under the age of 15. Officials say terrorists stormed the military-run public school and started shooting people. Apparently, the militants also bought rations for several days, implying that they wanted to take hostages, but that did not happen. All the attackers, according to the Pakistani military, are all now dead. Also, Pakistan's government is launching airstrikes in the area where these militants supposedly came from in response to the attacks. And speaking just a few moments ago, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry denounced the school attack in Pakistan, calling it gut-wrenching and devastating.
This act of terror angers and shakes all people of conscience, and we condemn it in the strongest terms possible.
Well, Kerry says the U.S. pledges to support the Pakistani government. In Australia, Sydney residents are starting to pick up the pieces after yesterday's deadly hostage siege. Officials say Manharan Monis, a self-styled Muslim cleric, took over the Lindt chocolate shop and cafe for nearly 16 hours. That standoff ended when police stormed the cafe and killed the suspects. The New South Wales Premier, Mike Baird, says hearts are heavy today in Australia.
Young Australians with a huge future going about their daily lives. There is nothing sadder and nothing more tragic by what we have seen.
All day long, mourners have been gathering to pay their respects to the two hostages who were killed during yesterday's siege. New York City also on high alert today after that standoff in Sydney. The NYPD says it has stepped up police presence as a response.
Whenever there's an event that's related to terrorism anywhere in the world, the first thing we try to do from the NYPD Intelligence Bureau perspective, with the Counterterrorism Bureau also, is figure out what's going on.
And that they did. The NYPD says it sent special teams of officers to protect the Australian consulate in New York, as well as other offices from other nations. Also, Jeb Bush makes his presidential prospects Facebook official. In a message posted to the social network today, the former Florida governor writes that he wants to, quote, actively explore the possibility of running for president of the United States. Bush posted the message today, but a spokesperson for the brother of George W. Bush says Jeb hasn't quite made a final decision just quite yet. He still wants to gauge his support from the Republican Party. And in Russia, and for the 15th straight year, Vladimir Putin is the man of the year, at least according to Russian news service Interfax. But it's not all roses for Putin right now and the ruble. Emergency efforts by Russian central bankers failed to stop the Russian currency's steep slide. The ruble has fallen 20% just this week, and it's fallen 50% compared to the dollar year to date. The Russian economy is teetering on the brink of collapse, and some experts say it could rival the Russian crisis of 1998 when Moscow defaulted on its debt. Another update coming up for you in 30 minutes.